Hi, my name is Bob, the Mortgage Coach Mitchell, and thanks for tuning into my channel. If you're new here, which you probably are because the whole channel's new, but the channel is intended to answer questions that potential home buyers, people who are going to finance a house, it might be a refinance, but mostly home buyers might have about the steps that you need to take in order to successfully find, finance, and close on a home. Okay, now this video is the third video in a series that hopes to answer, and we're focusing in on one question, and we hope to answer the first questions you should ask when you start thinking about buying a house. And that, well, think about it for a second. What do you think that question is? Okay, the question is, should I buy a house? Not everybody should. Okay, part of the whole thing with the guidelines is putting yourself in a position to be successful. Okay, in the last two videos, we talked about some of the basics that the lender is going to pretty much insist upon. Things like that you have enough money to accommodate the payment. That's your income to debt ratios. Okay, you can go a certain percentage depending on the program as what your housing expense and what your total monthly expenses can be, car notes, student loans, that sort of thing. Anyway, the second thing that your job is secure and that you have enough money to complete the transaction, that you're not short on funds, that you're going to have reserves after the end, just in case something were to go wrong, something were to happen to your job, or you were to get ill, or something along those lines. Basically, the underwriter wants to know that you can be satisfied what the guidelines or the loan program are calling for. Notice I said guidelines, not rules. You keep hearing me talk about that. They're guidelines, are not rules. So not very much is actually step in stone. Now, I don't intend this to be a step-by-step instructional video. There are just simply too many variables for you to attempt to navigate the mortgage application process by yourself. Now, some online lenders would like you to think different. That it's just as easy as hitting a button. But no, we're all selling on the same secondary mortgage market. We all have to answer the same questions. So I'm not going to go into minute detail on each of these stuff. Suffice it to say that I want you, the viewers, to feel like you have a better understanding of the ins and outs of the process. Okay, and that you feel comfortable, that you know what is going on. Talk to your friends. How many of them have bought a house and then at the end they said, "Oh my God, that was just a blur. I had no idea what went on." Well, I want you to feel comfortable that you knew what was going on. So anyway, in the future, we're going to be going into videos, a couple more videos, I think two, that are going to attempt to answer a question if you should buy the house and some of the other considerations. In addition to what we've already talked about in the other videos, I'd also like you to consider things like, what kind of property that you want to buy, what kind of home, okay? Do you want a single family detached in the suburbs? You want a downtown condo? You want a piece of ground out in the country? Okay, maybe you want a multi-unit. That's something that I think is going to get bigger and bigger, is because you maybe can buy a 2-family or 4-family and have your tenants help you make the payments. Okay, with the price of houses going up, I think it's going to be a much bigger thing. Anyway, we're going to go into greater details on each kind of the properties and all these considerations. But for right now, I just want you to kind of take a deep breath and to think about all the different things. Do you want to share walls with your neighbor? Okay, well, maybe you're in an apartment now, but you want to raise chickens. So, well, that's going to pretty much rule out a condo. Okay, you're not going to be raising chickens in a condo. All right. Another consideration might be where you want to buy a house. Okay. You can buy a condo in a suburban area. You can buy a condo in a downtown area. Or again, maybe you do want to raise those chickens, so you want to look for a single family house out in the country. Okay. There are also considerations that you might want to think about, like, is the value of the property likely to go up or down? That involves the economy of the entire area that you're buying in. Drilling down further, what kind of school district? How will the school district affect the value of the house? If the school district's having problems, I can tell you that probably real estate values are going to be having problems as well. So anyway, the last thing we're going to look at in these future videos is how the money part of it, what you're going to have to pay for, like how much you can expect to pay in a down payment, how much you're going to need for closing costs, what a closing cost is. How about prepaids? Are you familiar with what prepaids are? Anyway, those are the three cost centers that you're going to incur. We're going to go into greater detail on what they are and how much you're going to do it. And then finally, if you're tight on funds, which most people are going to be, how can we structure the transaction to reduce these costs as much as possible? Okay, in future values, we're going to talk about how to overcome some obstacles that you might encounter. Maybe you have less than perfect credit. Okay, maybe you've even had a bankruptcy. Oh my God, it's people. A lot of people have had a bankruptcy. You'd be surprised how many people have, by the way. But they think, oh, I can't buy a house. It's a 10-year mistake. Well, that's not true. In the right set of circumstances, you can buy a house in as little as 12 months. Maybe even as little, as 24 months, if depending on what type of bankruptcy it is. But anyway, we're also going to talk about like down payment assistance programs and that sort of thing. Okay, now a lot of these particular topics that I'm just kind of throwing out there deserve their own videos, and I'm going to make those as quickly as I can. But in the meantime, if you're ready to get started with the process, or if you have immediate questions, definitely feel free to reach out to me through my website, www.bobthemortgagecoach.com. You can leave a comment in the bottom here. As a matter of fact, I strongly encourage you to make comments and even to like and subscribe. So please feel free to leave me a comment. Liking and subscribing, of course, as you hear on all these videos, helps. It helps to get the word out. It helps the algorithms, to put this in front of people so that people can actually see it. So anyway, please feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions. Thanks for taking the time to watch the video. I look forward to talking with you in the future and helping you buy a house.